Josh Brownhill.
Burnley skipper, welcome.
Brings me on, so I'm like, okay, we're having a bit of possession, doing well. Within a minute they score, West Ham. So I'm like, it just looks even worse on me. They all have their own different ways, but like, for me, probably the best manager that I've had. In the car on the way home, I was thinking, if I don't get this, like, I might give up there. Like, it's hard. You know what I mean? I've gone towards the end of the season, he got sacked. So like, everybody was celebrating. We were in college, and the news came through. Vincent Kompany comes in, and
that's a mad
name.
What was that like for the lads? Was that a big shock? Hi, Jordan.
How are you doing, pal?
Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's not been long, has it? A couple of days?
No, it's a Sunday. You believe it?
No.
This big timer.
Big timer calling us in on a Sunday.
Getting on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's my bad, lads.
We're not even on double time. Go ahead. But no, it'll be a really good guest. But what have you been up to in that day I've not seen you?
I'm chilling now. I was in a bad way the other day, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was retiring. I'm crap. Beat Scunny yesterday at 94th minute. I'm back.
Did you play well?
No, but we won. I was all right. It's just against two monsters from Scunny. So.
But is that you guys safe then?
Yeah, I think the two teams that can catch us both need to win their last 4 games. That's if we don't win another game. And they've got each other on Saturday. So we should be sound.
So if you get a draw on, if they get a draw on Saturday, you're safe?
Yeah, we're done.
So does that mean then for the live show you can get drunk and John will turn up?
I'll have to ask them too, won't I?
They'll let you for that, surely.
Well, to be fair, this is how non-league it gets. We beat Scunny at 94th minute yesterday. We're all getting changing rooms buzzing. Jono comes in, says, right, lads, I'm just going to get myself off and miss the traffic. I'm off to Devon. No team talk after the game or anything, just got off.
For school holidays.
Yeah. And then, in fact, he come back a minute later and was like, fucking hell, Mrs. has forgot dog lead, so I've got another 5 minutes.
That's brilliant.
Belting. Right. But yeah, it was a good day. It was good for Ratcliffe, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Small.
Yeah, there's no way you should have gone down though with that squad.
No, not at all. But to beat Scunny as well.
Yeah.
Massive team, aren't they? Little old Ratcliffe beat them 1-0.
Yeah. They're still top though, aren't they? By a point.
Yeah, they've got a point.
So, live show, 25th?
5th of April, yeah.
25th of April, Friday night, Radcliffe Borough.
Should be good. Comedians.
Competitions, live
you.
Podcast. Me and you, obviously.
Decent guest.
Yep. Few beers, good atmosphere.
Yeah. I had a few beers after golf, actually. I'm ready to go today.
Today?
Yeah.
You look a bit flush.
Yeah, it was good.
He does look flush.
Does a bit flush, doesn't it?
Like, we've been walking around for 4 hours, have a couple of shandies, and you're like, whoa. Go on, I'll have another fucking.
Like on Thursday?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Right. We mentioned it earlier on. Big guest, probably.
Belting guest.
Is this the first current footballer we've had on?
I think so,
who's still playing?
Yeah.
So that's good. That's probably why we're in on a Sunday.
Big name. I got him off. Well, I didn't actually. Reece messaged him, but I know him through a mate of mine, Tom Pears.
It's his best pal, isn't it?
Best pals, yeah. So you've done well to put up with him for.
I don't know how I have.
20 years, is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, when I was year 7.
Year 7.
Yeah, so he texted me saying, I don't know how he's got to the Prem and that, because his first day of trials at high school, he didn't like me because I was better than him. This is from Piers, he was at Chester, by the way. He said, you didn't like him that much, you tried to smash him, injured yourself and had to go in net for trials.
Yeah, it was, I think I heard that he was good or whatever, and obviously I was at United at the time and I was like, no one can be better than me, do you know what I mean? And then he was playing, so he's like, training quite well, so I tried to absolutely nail him, like to let him know, like,
I love that.
I'm the best.
I'm the boy.
As an 11-year-old as well.
Yeah, and
I
think it was a high school manager at the time. He was like, "Oh, you can help me like pick the team and that." And obviously, done a bit of training, smashed him, like hurt myself proper. So I was like, I can't carry on. So I've had to go in net, like fuming, watch him just like take the mick out of everyone. And after training, he's like, he's talking to the teacher, and he's like, you know, you join in and stuff. And in my head, I was like, don't really want to say, but yeah, like obviously he's good. And then after that, just like slowly built a relationship, like a good friendship with him, to be fair. And I think by the end of year 11, we won an award. It was like the Romeo and Juliet award that normally goes to
a couple.
A couple, yeah.
You two won it.
Me and him got it, yeah. All because, I hated him at the beginning.
Class. Well, Josh Brownhill.
Yeah, Burnley skipper.
Burnley skipper, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Privileged to be on.
Good weekend for you as well, wasn't it?
Oh, as far as weekends go, it's really couldn't get much better, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about, I was going to start off about how do you think this season's gone up to now?
So it's been a weirdly, it's been a very, very good season, but it's been quite difficult. I think there's been a lot of noise around us as a squad, to be fair. New manager, fairly new squad. I think at the beginning of the year, it was quite a tough start. We had a lot of people coming and going and not knowing what the squad was going to be. Obviously, a new manager was coming in, and I think up until a transfer window shut, it was quite hard to be around. A few players, like I say, wanted to leave, have ideas where they wanted to go, and things weren't happening, and it was just proper unsettling. So we had a quite difficult, even though we won the first game 5-0 against, no, I think it was 3-1. We beat Luton, then we beat Cardiff 5-0, and really good start. But then I think we got beat by Sunderland, and we think we drew another, and it was building a lot of pressure, because obviously coming down from the Prem, everyone expects you to just walk the league.
Yeah.
And,
why did the lads want to leave? Because you'd been relegated, they thought?
They just, I think they had interest from Premier League and abroad, and as everyone wants to try and stay at the top level, a few lads sort of pushed it a little bit, and just creates massive uncertainty with everyone, and we weren't really bringing any players in. So I think we played Sunderland, the team that we finished off with at Sunderland away, we got beat 1-0. It was crazy. It was we had a full back at right wing. We had a few young lads playing, a couple of lads first game. One lad, I think, got told he was going to go out on loan that week and ended up starting at the weekend. So it was just all over the place, you know what I mean? And, it was a difficult start, but I think we built into it really, really well. I think up until probably the January transfer window finished, and then we really had a squad. Obviously brought in a few players, Marcus Edwards as well, and I think we fit form just at the right time, to be fair. Yeah,
because I remember you was getting a lot of stick as a team, and it sounds stupid, but they were saying they keep winning 1-0. They're not scoring.
You were solid, weren't you?
Yeah, you were so solid, but it's weird how fans at it, not just your own fans, but other football fans, and they just don't see it it's 3 points. It's just continually winning.
Yeah, it was.
It's like they want to see 5-0 every game.
I know, yeah. And I think, it was so strange, because a few years ago when we were in the Champ and we won it, the beginning it wasn't necessarily similar, but we had a lot of noise around us, especially our own fans, as a bit of it, the transition from Dyche to Kompany was completely different football. So they wasn't really used to the way that we were playing, and we drew a lot of games at the beginning of the year, more or less similar. They weren't 0-0s, but they were 1-1, or we'd be 1-0 up and they'd score and with one shot in the 90th minute, and then we'd draw the game. So, but the way we finished it, I think they expected that this year was going to be the same, and it's completely different. It's new teams in the league, new players, new manager. It's completely different. So when you are drawing a lot of games 0-0, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not as if we work on just defending. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have our routine of going through the week of defending, attacking, how we're going to score 3, conceding on. Do you know what I mean? That's how we're going into the game, and some games it just didn't work out. And we were very solid. I think as a team, he's got a great group of lads who if someone gives the ball away, no matter who it is, everybody runs back, because he wants to say, if you give the ball away and you're trying to break down 11 and you get back in, you have to break down it again. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we have Trafford in there, TJ and Riley, Maxim and Steve at the back, Connor Roberts, and there's a few others. Obviously Joe Worrell was in at the beginning, Bashir Humphries. So we've got a really good back five, but I think it's the whole team as well. But just going forward, we just wasn't on the right side of little things, you know what I mean?
A little bit of luck as well, weren't it? Sometimes you just need it to drop to you and it's an easy finish.
And we didn't have that, but we were very solid, and obviously everyone said we're boring, but it's just, I think everyone's just more frustrated, to be honest. I think it's just easy. One person says that everybody runs, but I think still people probably say it now, they won this, we're still boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not.
Top at league now though.
Yeah.
I know, you would have thought that. I think we were going into the Leeds game, we were 7 points behind.
Yeah.
Because
I think everyone thought Leeds had won it, and then they've just obviously hit, you guys have hit a real good
Yeah, it was.
Bit of form, and they've dropped off as well.
It's when they beat Sunderland and Sheffield United, I think it was.
Last minute winners,
Yeah, where like the momentum from that, you're thinking, yeah, they're gonna fly with it. But
how did the gaffer keep you guys going there? Because that's like even as a player, like it's hard to see where you think they've nicked a last minute win or they've nicked another win. Like, how did the gaffer keep you guys like going?
I think it was just obviously like it's a very cliche thing to say. You just take it game by game, but it was just like just win this weekend, focus on ourselves, and like it was 2 spots at goal automatically. It's not just one, and like it's not just Leeds if they do run away with it. Like there's another spot there. It's not whether obviously you want to win the league, but you just want to get promoted. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. Like, yeah, you can win the league, it's brilliant, but when you're looking back, it's like, yeah, you got promoted. That's all you want. So I think it was just taking it game by game, focusing on us. If we win, things will happen outside. We can just control what we can do. And like I say, obviously went into the Leeds game, and it was, to be fair, that probably was a boring game. It was none. I think I say it was probably 2 good teams that just cancelled each other out in everything, which for people to watch was probably weren't the best game to watch. But
take a point there.
Like we took 4 points off Leeds this year, which is huge, and then they go on and do what they do, and they're like 7 points ahead of us, and looks quite big. But football's football. Do you know what I mean? It's a difficult league. People start fighting for things, and I say Luton this weekend, they're fighting to stay up, and it's a tough place to go to when they're on it and their fans get behind them, and the way that they play it's difficult. So I've like Sheffield United as well, go to Oxford, and Oxford have been quite decent at home all year. We drew away there 0-0, and Portsmouth at home, like they're a good team. So these teams down at the bottom, like when it comes to the end of the season, they're kind of nearly getting like 2 points a game, which is like promotion sort of standard, because they're fighting to stay up. So that's why I say there's a lot of twists and turns. You can have an easy run in, someone else can have a harder run in, but you got to get the job done.
I don't think anything's an easy run in the Championship, is it?
No,
every
were you
game's
watching
a battle.
them Leeds games on telly?
Yeah,
or do you try not to watch them?
Not the one just gone. We played at the same time as them, but the ones before. Sometimes, you watch it. Like, not really. You don't want to get caught up. Like,
Are you a football fan as well? Like, will you watch it if it's on?
I am. Yeah, it's a lot
game?
difficult when you play it. It's difficult to really enjoy watching it, because obviously you train every day and then you're playing a game on a weekend and stuff. But to be honest, when it's now on TV, so I'm just like, it's just the easy thing just to put on background noise in it. So then you end up watching it. But I'd say, still a football fan and try and watch as many games as I can. But that's the thing, just because there's nothing else on TV, to be honest.
It's your job, innit, as well.
I thought I was going to say Love Island for me.
Mrs. puts that on, but I'm like, I don't want to watch it, but then like 10 minutes in, I'm just like sat watching the TV and just like talking.
I can't believe he's been there off.
He's just he wasn't bothered about it. And
He wants to chat near the campfire. So how did you find the transition from, I think this is right, Dyche to Kompany to obviously Scott? Like what was the biggest change that you saw? Yeah, all very different managers.
Yeah, they're all very different. I think
Dyche was there a long time, wasn't he? Like,
like
he the one who brought you in?
10 years, yeah. Which was obviously, I'm forever grateful for bringing me into the club, and to give me my Premier League debut and a bit of a Premier League career, to be fair. So like, I'm always grateful. And the thing about Dyche, obviously gets, some people give him a bit of stick for the way he plays football, but that's the way he believes in football. And what he was very good at was getting a good group of lads in that would work hard and be horrible and be hard to beat, and try and affect the game as much as possible. And it worked for a long period of time, and they got in Europe. And I think my first season I was there, I think we finished like, I don't know, maybe 10th, and it was like the same amount of points that they finished on when they got into Europe. So he had like, obviously really, really good Premier League. And then I think the next year we just really struggled, and it's hard to put a finger on what it was. As the season was going on, you're thinking, we'll be all right. I've been in this position before, we'll be all right. You got some experienced players in there who have done it before, and then before you know it, time runs out a little bit. New owner comes in, probably wants to see a little bit different. And and obviously
people start to panic as well, though, don't you? Like, you're thinking, obviously, like, you're going to get relegated if you don't pick up points, and then all of a sudden there's more pressure on them games. And
there is, and we had a bit of a bounce back, to be fair. It's like when you get to the end of probably a manager's job. Sometimes it's just for the best of the group. Sometimes a bit of change happens as much as you might not want it. Sometimes it might give you that bounce back of a kick with a few games left. And we did that. We had some decent results straight after. But in the end, obviously, we wasn't good enough to stay up and didn't deserve to stay up. But then, obviously, you go into the summer wondering who's going to be in charge, who's going to be the manager, and Vincent Kompany comes in, and
that's mad,
big name.
Yeah, what was that like for the lads? Was that a big shock?
Yeah, I think so. For me, I'm a City fan as well. So
right.
I've gone to games, and he's a City legend and stuff. And when you hear he's coming in, it's buzzing. Do you know what I mean? And watch what he did in Anderlecht, obviously, where he's coming in, so you can kind of look at results and the way he plays football, and he plays football he's been under Pep, so you know what he's going to be like. So I thought it's going to be enjoyable to play with the ball and be with possession a lot more. But obviously, going into the Championship, which is going to be a lot easier than being in the Premier League, and obviously being in the Premier League and trying to keep possession against all these big teams is difficult. You give the ball away once, and before you know it, they're having a shot on goal. But I really enjoyed it. The formation that we played gave me a bit more freedom to go forward, where under Dyche it's like a 4-4-2, sometimes a 4-5-1. It was a bit more defensive. You don't really have the ball a lot, so it's harder to go forward. You're just running around, tackling, trying to win second balls and fighting and running. And then under Vincent Kompany, it was just more like free-flowing, possession-based attacking football, like I said, but it's just a lot easier in the Champ to do that compared to doing it in the Premier League.
It was total football. Like the whole club changed as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
You got me tickets a few years ago, and you got me tickets when Kompany was a manager, and like the whole ground and the whole field was just miles different.
Yeah, it was. It was completely different from, I think, like I said, the new owners came in and they probably saw football a different way, or the direction they wanted to go in was completely different.
Did anything change within the club in terms of, like, did he bring any of the Man City stuff, i.e., like, did nutrition change? Did, like, your training hours change? Anything like that?
Oh, yeah, it was
Was it complete?
Crazy, yeah. I wouldn't say too much like nutrition, but with like, next thing you know, there was like 10, 15 analysis people, like all these new people just coming in, working on analysis, set piece coach. Training would be longer hours. It would just be tactical. Like I don't think we played a small-sided game pretty much since he came in, and as a player, that's what you want to do. You play small-sided games and 5 sides. I think the only ones that it was probably on a Tuesday where it'd be a difficult day, and it'd be like 3v3s, 4v4s, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, just like balling straight away, like no fouls, like just get your fitness up, and that was sort of the fun that you had. Everything else was just like from the warm-up to finishing to the possession to like, it was just, everything was just like, this is how we're going to play on this weekend. So in the warm-up, it's pass from this to this. Why are we passing from there to there? It's because this is how we're going to break them down on the weekend. Well, warm-ups usually like run up and down, stretches. It was none of that. It was literally like structured shape in the warm-up.
Was that difficult to buy into? Like not from you, but from everybody?
I don't think so. I think they could see how he wanted to play football.
Yeah.
And
I suppose when it's working and you're winning.
Yeah. We changed, like, we had I think at Anderlecht he played like 4-2-2-2, and he tried to do that when we came. We played a few pre-season games. I remember we played the game before our first game of the season, we played Newcastle. And we got absolutely spanked. Like, we were so open.
In that formation?
Yeah, in that formation. And we weren't really getting used to it too much. But we obviously, like, against the lower teams that were playing pre-season, like, it'd be like 95% possession, like 3-0. But then you play against, like, I think we played Wolves and Newcastle, and we were open a lot on transition. So he kind of changed it. And then that week before the first game on the Friday, we played Huddersfield. We changed to a 4-3-3 pretty much. So it was a bit like, we're changing before like first game of the season. That's like, I mean, we worked on all pre-season. That's going out. And then, after the game, obviously we played like incredible. And we came in after the game and everyone was like, wow. Like, and that was so important for the season that we could see how much like that's going to work.
Was that the 5-0?
No, we beat them 1-0 away.
Oh, right. No, because I remember you having a start where you just had a really, really good start to the season.
Yeah, we did have a good start to the season, but then we just went through a period of drawing just so many games, but you just knew like the way he was going to play, that like it was just enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? Like it was possession based, scoring goals. He wanted to be like every phase of play would be like, okay, we've got a throw in our half. This is how we're going to score from a throw in from our half.
Right.
So it'd be like, we're going to move this rotation. Out ball's going to be the fullback. Then the winger's going to run, and then we're going to play from there and score. Like he was always like score.
Yeah.
So it was obviously it's very enjoyable to play in. To be fair, yeah.
What was it like as a man, like as a guy around the place?
It was a bit different than what I thought. I suppose being a manager, I think what you maybe hear when he was a player. Obviously, he's very serious as a leader. You know what I mean? He's like his sort of aura when he walks in is like massive. Do you know what I mean? It's huge. But I thought it'd be a bit more like, because he's out of retirement recently, it'd be a bit more
jovial.
Still one of the lads.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's what, you hear a few stories of him being like a great lad and stuff. And he was quite quiet, like kept himself to himself a little bit. But he'd be first one in at like, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning. He wouldn't leave till like 7 at night. Like he was just literally like football, like
fiery in the dressing room as well.
Yeah, like out on the training pitch, in the dressing room. If you're off it, he would lose his head and let you know. I think it was a bit heightened. It wasn't be all the time, but I think we had the documentary and a big thing came out of him having a go at a few lads and stuff, and so people think it was all the time, but it wasn't. But like, yeah, he wouldn't be scared to let you know. And obviously when he's doing that, you're a bit like,
what was that bollocking for? Can't remember.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the Joey's playing against the 11, and it's like Joey's always played better than the 11. I don't know why that. It's just always the case. You just free flowing football. Just like anyway, so we like keep winning the ball back. I think it was, and we every time we kept winning it back and go to score, he'd be like no, and then you'd like give them again to play, and then we got the ball again. I think Johan went to shoot or wanted to finish off the attack, and he was like no, like ball back, and he was like I just want to like finish off the attack. And then obviously, and he was like stop fucking moaning. I think because it weren't working what he was seeing, that and Yoey he wasn't moaning, he was like I was want to go on to a finish, like we're about to score. So he said something, I think he said like stop fucking moaning, and then Yoey's like I wasn't fucking moaning, and then like he just switched, said something, walked away. I think Yoey said something else, like not really that bad. I think he just switched, and I was like, whoa, like probably didn't really need that.
Yeah.
So he got blown out of proportion like massively, but I think he just because he cares so much about like
he's a winner, isn't he?
Yeah. He's used to winning, and he has his way of playing, and he wants to see that happen. And when it's not going his way, he's so passionate about it that probably, and we weren't doing that great.
Yeah.
So I think it all just boiled up, to be honest.
It would be annoying though, wouldn't it? You threw on goal even in trading.
Yeah.
You just think,
like it wasn't just like the one time. It was like a few times. Like you go in there, he's pulling it back, and then you just wonder, like, fuck, just let me finish one. Do you know what I mean?
Let it score. Yeah. But like, what was there any frustration from the team when obviously you was in the Prem and you was like, did you guys think we need to change it up here? Like we need to try and change the way we play just to get results. Like I understand his philosophy, and I actually respect it. Like I respect the fact that like
he didn't change.
He didn't change it when everybody said that he should have done now. Whether that's right or wrong, I still respected it.
I think we did change a little bit. We've gone from one sitter to two sitters, which obviously it's not like massive, but it is. We realised how open we were that if we did give the ball away, that they'd go through and they'd have a chance. So we did change like quite a few things. I think people just wanted to see us go longer a little bit quicker, and obviously he don't really believe in that. He believes in drawing people out to create space.
That was the Burnley way for years, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like everybody was used to.
The Burnley fans are.
Yeah, like, and that was the way, and that's what they were used to, and that's what they got a lot of enjoyment out of. So like when it wasn't going well, they just revert back to like stop fucking around at the back.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like we didn't really give too many goals away playing that. I think it's like 1 or 2, but it just gets heightened. And when you're at the bottom, it just gets heightened even more. Like, why the fuck are you playing that way? Like, just kick it long. But
messing about at the back.
But then it's like realistically, with the side that you had, even if you went to go long, doesn't mean you was going to win.
We didn't have the profile for that.
Yeah, you didn't have the players.
I remember in the champ, that we we had a very small squad, and I remember like thinking we could be a bit like in championship, like you're having teams that would be loving playing against us, like if they get set pieces. But he in his head was, if we have the ball and we give them no corners or one corner, they can't score. Like if we do, like obviously we had a set piece coach, and if you do your right blocks and stuff, like they're having one corner a game, they're used to having like 6, 7, 8. So maybe they might score one. But he was like, if we have all the ball and they don't really have any attacks, they're not going to have any corners. So like I can have my players and just sacrifice and just one corner a game. And to be fair, like especially in the champ, like we barely give like any corners away. So like not really anybody scored corners against us really, or it might look worse than what it was. But yeah, like because he brought in the players that suited his way, if we started going long,
it wouldn't have worked anywhere.
They'd be moaning anyway, saying like, "Oh, why is he going long there?" Do you know what I mean? And it's just, I think in his head, obviously he has his way, and he knows how it can work. He's been under Pep, and he has his own ways as well as why it'll work. And I'm not surprised that where he is now, doing well, because how much detail he goes into it. It's like, I always say, like in the champ, he had the best players pretty much, and he absolutely smashed it. In the Prem, we didn't have the best players. It's a lot harder.
Yeah, and you guys nearly stayed up as well towards the end.
Yeah, we did. We gave it a good go. There's a few games like we're 1-0 up at West Ham at home in like the 85th minute.
Yeah.
Blink, 2-1 down. You're thinking, 2-0 up away at West Ham. 2-0 up at West Ham, and I wasn't playing. And then half time, I get a nod saying, get warm, you might be coming on here. I'm like, 2-0 up. Why are you changing? So
as a player, you don't want to come on here.
Because the flying are playing so well.
Yeah.
Brings me on. So I'm like, okay, we're having a bit of possession, doing well. Within a minute, they score. West Ham. So I'm like, it just looks even worse on me. I've just come on, they're absolutely cruising, and then they get momentum.
2-2.
Draw 2-2.
Yeah.
I think there's like a few like Palace. I think Palace at home, we did like very well. We did well. And United at home, we like played so well. I think it was Johnny Evans, ball over, Bruno, goal, 1-0. They didn't deserve it, and you're like, oh. You know what I mean? So it's so close, but they've just got so much quality that like we just didn't have it. You know what I mean?
The championship side was good though, wasn't it? The left back that you had, what's Matson.
Yeah, and then you had, is it Zahori?
He was Manuel Benson, Nathan Teller, obviously Jack Cork, Josh Cullen. Who else did we have up front? We had obviously J-Rod and Ashley Barnes up front.
Yeah. I watched the game where Barnsley pushed the keeper into net. It's in that.
It's just him all over there.
I'd hate to play against him.
Oh, do you know what? He's like the best. When I obviously you hear about Barnsley being shit house, really, don't you? And you go in, and when I first like met him, you're a bit like, he's probably not a bit of a knob, but like you think he's just a bit of a joke or whatever. But he's the nicest lad like in the world. Yeah, he's such a nice lad, and you get on the pitch, he just a wind-up merchant.
Changes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
You've half got it, though, ain't you?
Yeah.
You can't be.
What did you find was the biggest difference when you went up into the Prem with the players, the teams who you're up against?
The biggest difference is the quality in front of goal, but the physicality is like insane. Like, it's hard. I remember actually when I first joined Burnley, I did like a run. I joined in the January, and I did like some fitness testing, and I thought I did like all right. I'm a fit lad. Like, I've run quite a lot in games.
Yeah.
I would consider myself as one of the fittest lads, like running around, especially in the Championship when I was at the time. I'd do a run in, and I thought, I did all right. And I think the next day or whatever, he was like, we'll get you there. We'll get you fit. We'll get you Premier League fit. And I'm like, was it that bad?
Well, my numbers down.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, like we'll get you there fit. And I'm thinking, I thought I was fucking fit. But then like you go into the game, you see the stats of people in the game, and like I wasn't fit. Like you think you're fit, but you're not. And like now, since then, like I probably ran at Bristol City. I was probably running like 11.8k to 12k max. So I get to 12 a couple of times, and I thought like that's good.
Still, that's still mental.
Ashley Westwood, Jack Court, they're covering like 12.5, 13k like easy, and I'm like that's my competition sort of thing like that in midfield,
and they were doing that week in, week out as a standard.
As a standard, yeah. Like it was, honestly, I was thinking like, this is insane. Obviously you get there now and like, to be fair, my numbers now are probably at that level. But
how do you get them numbers up? Like, is that the sports conditionist working with you, extra running?
I think it's all of it, and just games and knowing you have to push yourself even more. Like I think you go into the games and you can't not. The ball's moving that fast that you're getting up and down, and if you're not, you're getting left out to dry. Do you know what I mean? Like you look like you're out of place, and obviously still a lot of fitness work off the pitch as well, and making sure that if you are doing a run, you're doing it properly, because you can't, like I say, if especially if you ain't got like the top quality where you can get away with it, like you have to work hard.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you get found out quickly.
If we compare that to the National League North,
what you guys do,
we have to get over 10k a game. But like, I don't. So like, if they get a corner and I'm back for it, you'll just see me sprint as much as I can to get me sprint
to get your numbers up.
Yeah, and they're like,
yeah, but we know what you're doing. When the ball goes over its side, you can run for it as well.
They're going to count.
It does get like, even like we joke about it, like this year, like Scott Parker now, like when we go through the games and stuff, he loves it. Like the whole team like runs back, but like he's kind of done a good thing, because when you give the ball away like high up and they're on the counter, you see everybody sprinting, because in the meeting he'll put it on and be like, look, everybody's doing it, it looks good. You want to be on that meeting that's like, oh, you're all sprinting back and you're getting your high speed up, and because he's like, his numbers, to be fair, fitness wise are insane. Like even in training, like we do 2 hard days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Normally do like 1 hard day a week on a 3-week, day off on the Wednesday, sort of bit of a decent day on the Thursday, but it'd be like Tuesday, small spaces but hard day, then doggies after. Wednesday, big spaces, hard day, runs after. So like he's working you like hard, because
so
he
don't give
numbers.
you Wednesday off, does he not?
And then Thursday you're in for recovery, but like you're in, so you don't really get a day off really. Every now and again he will treat us to a day off, like, but it's very.
You
rare.
don't mind if it's working though, is it? Like I was going to ask, like what? So then you've gone Dyche, Kompany, and now obviously Scott Parker, the gaffer. Like what's been the biggest difference that you've seen this season then?
I think for Scott Parker now, like, again, you've gone from Vinny, who is tactically like very, very good, but you got Scott now that's tactically very, very good, but he's a very good motivator. Like, I haven't seen anything like it. Like the videos he puts on, like we'll do like obviously training things and running, and then he's got like, we'll have meetings and he's getting like video of like training, doing well, and what it means, clips of like films, and like, you know, putting all in the montage, and really, really motivating everyone. And
it's a bit like what you were saying before that was missing with Kompany, with like the personal side.
Yeah.
Scott's got that as well now.
And I think I can only go for like me and my experience with these managers, and I think I work well best when it's like that, when I got a good relationship with somebody that I can talk to, and, you know, have that relationship. Like Vincent Kompany, I probably didn't really have a relationship with the players really, and same with Dyche, maybe a few of the older ones, but for me, like I didn't really have much of a personal relationship with him. Where Gaffer now, like I'd say we've got like a really good relationship, and, you know, he's always asking like the leadership group questions, and how does it feel, how's it feel in game, how's this, like, and it's, I say, so personal, and you feel like valued like a lot, to be fair. And I think for me, probably the best manager that I've had.
Right.
Like the feeling of like I say, they all have their own different ways, but like what I need as a player, like I think he's got that down to a T for me. So I really enjoy like playing for him.
Class. And you've got, well, like we said before, anything's a tough running with, I think you've got Derby, Norwich, Watford, Sheffield United, QPR, then Millwall. So six games left.
Yeah, 6. All of them are tough in like in their own way. And
there's not an easy team at Champ, is there really?
And it's like what he touched on before. They're either up there with you, pushing for the playoffs, or they're trying to save relegation.
It is.
So like every game's tough.
It is, like I say, honestly, it's like there's really no easy game. Like even the ones that you think are going to be, like they're so defensively solid and give you nothing. Or going forward, obviously, you've still got like very good players who are fighting for for the players from going up automatic. That it's just difficult. And yeah, I've probably got the hardest running that out of Leeds and Sheffield United, but on paper. But like I say, there's no easy game. They're all hard, and they've dropped points at the weekend. There's probably going to be twists and turns, but I just feel like we're in a really good position. We've probably hit momentum at the right time, playing very good football at the right time. I think we've lost 2 games all season. We've conceded, I think, 11 goals.
Touch wood.
Absolutely, yeah. So like we're really in a good position, but we know there's going to be twists and turns.
Yeah.
It's the Championship.
Who are your biggest rivals this season? Obviously, I'm from Burnley, so I know the rivalry between Burnley and Blackburn. But from I suppose like inside the team, like who's the team that you dread facing?
Obviously, Blackburn is huge, and ever since I've come in, like you realise how big it is.
You understand it, the size of
it. It's massive. It's all anyone talks about, even when we're in the Prem and they're in that. You know, they're still giving them stick and letting you know that like, it's just it's Burnley, and you know, thankfully since I've been here, we've been on the right end of results and had some great memories playing against them, with the 3-0 at home, winning the league at their place, which was like incredible.
It was last season, wasn't it? Was that last season?
No, 2 seasons. Sorry,
2 seasons before when you went up.
Yeah, that was like incredible to win there. Obviously, to win the Championship at there is like special.
How good at Burnley fans? Class out there.
Do you know what? When we played them away, it was so annoying because they only let us have 2,000 fans.
Yeah.
So like they really like did us dirty, to be honest. And you think because for them, they don't at the moment, they're not getting barely any fans, so it really makes the stadium.
But
like,
that was because you could have got a promotion on that day.
We literally lifted the trophy more or less that day. But I always thought that there's a chance to ruin that day for us. Like they need all the support that they can get, and like no one turned up. They only give us 2,000 fans, which you know you got to do. Like for them, and like I say, thankfully we were on the right side. Did that give you
extra motivation on that day? Or,
yeah, of course.
Did you?
100%. Yeah, everything around it, knowing that we can win the Championship at their place. Yeah, they've only let 2,000 of our fans in, which is annoying, but
Reece will be loving this.
Yeah, he's a
Blackburn fan.
Was you not holding a blow-up trophy up?
Yeah, do you know what? Do you know what it was?
You got some stick.
Yeah, so as we were warming up,
I love all that though.
As I was warming up, we were doing like finishing on that side where that was. Obviously, getting a lot of stick, and I clocked one. And at the end of the game, he was still there. So he's giving me shit all at the beginning. So I just thought.
Can you remember what he was saying? Is it repeatable?
Just the usual stuff like, you shit, like just all that shit.
Dingle.
Yeah. Like, you try and like block it out, but I remember clocking his face and like, you know, it gives you more anyway. Like, you know, they're giving it you and you're like, oh, it's a proper fucking game this is. And then, obviously we win all there and I look over and he's still there. So just give it some and then, but I thought they were going to maybe get on the pitch, so it probably was a bad idea, and like Vinny stopped me from doing it. Because he probably thought, it's a bad idea. But you get caught in the emotions, you know what I mean? It's like, even playing away at their place this year was a sort of similar feeling. I think we won 1-0 and made it a very difficult game for us. Like, it wasn't our best game, but we come away with the win. And as soon as that final whistle went, like, it was almost going back to that day where we won the league there. Like, the emotion that came over when that whistle went was like incredible. You got Zian Fleming running to the corner flag. He's like, "Oh, come get this. We'll put my shirt on it." Like, as we're doing this, and like, you don't even really think. Like, you're just enjoying it so much.
You don't think what carnage that could.
Like you're just enjoying it, and it's just the emotions take over, and you go in the change room. But then, like, I don't know, an hour after you sat back, you're like, oh, what was I doing?
There's a riot outside.
I don't know if I can walk outside and be near the bus. Fans might be. When to get to me, but
has that had to change a little bit, like since you were captain? Because I know, like, we'll go back to where it all started, but you were saying that obviously when you got made captain, you had to change the way you acted, and you kind of role model around the club now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
a bit more.
Obviously there's a lot more responsibility. So I think when I was coming through, probably at Preston and early on at Bristol City, like, I was just immature young lad who's
Just a footballer.
Bit weird. Do you know what I mean? It's
like
a
bit weird.
Yeah, like, just enjoying everything. And when you get that responsibility and you see the people that have had the captaincy before you and stuff, obviously you got to take, you got to be a lot more mature. You got to take more things on for responsibility. You got to be the go-to person. You got to start doing things around the club that, that a captain does. Sorts out everything, goes to see people. You've got to, if lads need this, you've got to go and ask for it. And obviously,
and are you that link between the gaffer and the players?
Who's in your team?
Yeah. You've got me, Josh Cullen, Ashley Barnes, Joe Worrell, Connor Roberts, Nathan Redmond. You got quite a few, to be fair, but normally it'd probably be me and Josh Cullen because he's the vice captain. And like I say, now especially, like, to be fair, Vinny did that as well. Like, he'll bring you in the leadership every now and again and talk. It's not as if he didn't do it, but yeah, he'll do it quite a lot, and you can have that link. And the staff around the place, like the S&C coaches and head of departments, like, we'll talk to you if you need this, or what do you need, or don't let lads be late for this, and all that sort of stuff. So it's a lot of responsibility that I think when I was coming through, you want to be captain, but I would never really think I would be a captain because I was too immature. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I remember at Bristol City, I think Marlon Pack went to Cardiff, and I was 23, and obviously the captain's gone, or I think the captain was injured, Bailey Wright, and it was Marlon Pack. It was one of them. Marlon Pack went, so we needed like a new vice, more or less, and obviously they were going to give it to someone. Lee Johnson was the manager, and I had no clue. Like, before the game, everyone's thinking, like, who's going to be captain? No one knew who it's going to be, and I never thought, like, it's going to be me. And then I got a call, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to give you captain," and like, "You're going to be captain." And I'm like, "All right."
What do I do?
Where were you?
Yeah, I was like, I'll have to be mature now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? And
Practicing flipping a coin.
Honestly, and then like you go, because we used to do like a huddle before a game.
Yeah.
And obviously I had to take that. So I had to
stuttering like
I had to take over that, and that's like probably the thing you're worrying about the most. I've got to speak in front of everyone. Like, are people going to take me seriously, or like, what's it going to be? But then you get in the mode. It's not as bad as what it is, but yeah, you have to change your ways a little bit when you do become a captain.
So way back, it all started at Man United. That was the first professional club you went into.
Yeah, I think I was like, it was weird. This is a story my dad tells me, that I was 3.5 when we used to go on. You
weren't a wonder kid at that age, same as Jordan, was you? Have you heard about Jordan?
No.
So it's right. So we had him on the podcast, right?
I did my own pod
because I just wanted to listen. Because everyone was like, "Get Jordan, I want to listen to his story."
Yeah,
it was so crap. It was like ramming Padium.
Basically, it was like. So when I was 5, I was a wonder kid. He said I was unbelievable. They were parading me around. Where was it? Everton,
Goodison Park,
and United.
Got pictures.
Like, I could have gone to any club. I was like, at what age? 5. I was like, my kid's 5. He can only just walk. Like, how can you be a wonder kid?
So
it says more about your kid. I think.
yeah, he's just jealous he's not got a wonder kid. That's what it is. But no, yeah, like I used to go on the park when there was a team at 5 Broadheath, and I used to like go around there, and I wanted to join in all the time. And obviously I was too young, like really too young, and they're like, no. I think it got to like 3.5, 4, and he let me join in once, and he was like, "Oh, better bring him back. Like, he's
decent.
Yeah, he's decent. Like, he can play." So, ended up joining in. I went to the satellite, Man United satellite, like 5 or 6, like around then, where it's like just before you can sign a contract or something. I think 7. But actually, I was at City. I was training at City and United, and obviously I'm a City fan as well. So I was like, obviously I wanted to go play for Man City. But when he got to it, when I was training at both of them, you have to sign a contract at 7. Like, I don't know, it's like you can't really play for another team. It's like insurance and stuff. Yeah. So like you can't play for another team. You have to pick one. So my dad was like, who do you want to pick? Like United or City? And obviously being a City fan, you'd think I would go for City. But I think at the time I was like, I
United
could see what was going.
Yeah,
how their setup was. I was like, United. So I ended up going to United at like 6, 7. And yeah, I was all the way through there until under 16s. But I think for me, it was up until probably 13s, 14s, I was like pretty good. Like I was a striker, scored loads of goals. Like I was probably one of the better players there. And when you go through like growth spurts and stuff, I just really didn't grow.
Yeah.
I think I lost pace. Like it was that bad, and I could feel it. And like I felt miles off it not miles off it, but I was really off it. Like there's a lot of better players than me at the time. And then you get to 16, and obviously the decision whether you get a scholar and stuff. And I kind of knew in the back of my head I wasn't really going to get one because there was a lot of that I thought was better players. But I started to train quite well towards the back end for some reason. I think it just hit me. Maybe I just started to grow a tiny bit, and I was competing a little bit more. Ended up getting released from there.
How was that? Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was going in and sitting in, because obviously, as much as if you asked me, like, to be honest, was I going to get one? I'd probably say no. But still,
who were the other lads in your group who did? Is there any that?
Yeah, you got James Wilson.
Yeah.
Who went on and obviously played a lot for United. Well, decent amount for United. You had Josh Harrop.
He's in Ballers League now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, scored on his debut for United, didn't he? Ash Fletcher. I think he's at Blackpool now.
Yeah.
And then you had a few that was like Otis Khan. I think he's at Oldham. I think he is now. You've got Ben Whiteman, who's at Preston. Who else you got? I think Kieran O'Hara's goalkeeper. He's playing in Scotland.
There's some decent ones that at your
there's
level.
some decent ones. But at the time, there was even a few that still didn't get contracts. Like I remember, like Luke Daly. I think he might have played non-league for. I can't remember who he's been at, but he's played non-league. Like these lads were like a lot better probably than what I was, and he didn't get a contract there, but a few of the others obviously did. And I remember going in, didn't get one, got in the car, start crying. Like,
you can't help it.
Yeah, you can't help it. You know, you've gone there for so long that like it's every day just like, yeah. And even like for me, probably a bit of pride, like, you know, I play for United. Like everybody knows me as like, oh, he plays for United, Yeah. And then you go in school the next day and you're like, I don't play for him anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like...
I think it's when you have to tell your mates. So like, it was the next day at school where they say like, how did you get on?
Yeah, did you get one?
Yeah, what did they say? And
Piers, he probably took piss out of you.
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100% he did. Oh, lucky pal. I
knew you wouldn't get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're angry as well.
There's a lot of that, yeah. But yeah, it was horrible. Remember going to the Trafford Centre after mum and dad taking me some food and like just couldn't eat. Like it was horrible. But I thought like, I can still come in and train and stuff, and we'll help you find a club and stuff. And I think their reasonings actually, I remember, were like not physical enough, not tall enough, not quick enough, and not fit enough. But I was like, fitness, like you didn't really play me enough to be fit. Like I know I'm a fit lad, I can run.
Yeah.
Like I can run all day, do you know what I mean? Like I could be fit enough, but yeah, not tall enough, even though you do like wrist x-rays when you're younger, so they kind of know how tall you're going to be roughly, do you know what I mean? And I think it was just a lot of excuses rather than just saying like, we don't think you're good enough, like which you probably want, even though you don't want it. Like I'd rather than be honest and say, look, we don't think you're good enough. So that happens, and then you have a few people that like are talking. They didn't really help me out with anything. Like didn't help me out with not one single club.
No trials,
nothing at all. I think we organised it myself.
Jesus Christ, hungry me.
Yeah, I remember, I think I went on trial at Crewe. And trained well for a couple of days there. They said they were looking for a left back. Actually, no, I played against Crewe as well when I was at United. So it was like a trial for me against them. They played at our place. And they ended up like, they knew that I was like being watched by them, and they took me off. Like United took me off. Like it was a nothing game. And like, I played, I don't know, like 60 minutes, and then he took me off. So I was like fuming over that really.
Yeah.
And then I went on trial at Burnley. Go in there for a couple of days, went in digs, trained like really, really well. I was like, surely I'm going to get like something here. So trained all week with the youth team, played a game on a Sunday was like a trialist game against Carlisle, and it was hailstoning, windy, like it was horrible.
Summer's day in Burnley then.
Yeah, oh, great day. And I didn't start. Bizarre. Came on at like, I think like 4-0 down or something. Came on for like 25 minutes, and I was
What
going
can you
off
do?
it.
Yeah.
Going obviously after, and I can't remember his name, who it was, because he's not there anymore at Burnley. Because when I walked back through the door the first time, I was like looking for him, thinking, oh, obviously I signed back in the Premier League.
What did he look like?
Honestly, I can't
Old
remember.
Ed?
No,
Weren't Terry Pashley then? I think it might have been Terry Pashley.
I think maybe it was.
Yeah,
and I remember being in there,
might
and
have been,
he was quite brutal to me. He's like, we've got better players. Like, we don't think you're good enough.
He played me for 20 minutes in Hailstone.
Yeah,
That's what he wanted at United, though.
I know, yeah. It was still fuming, but at least he was honest. But still, he was like, we don't think he's good enough. And I remember my dad was in there with me, like, lost his head a little bit.
Hey, that's
fucking played him for 25 minutes in this game. He's trained all week with the youth team, like, blah, blah. And it's like, we don't think he's good enough. So I was like, oh, well.
That's great that you got to know then. And now you come back, you're captain.
Yeah, and then I went to...
In fact, while we got the Burnley fans, actually, I once had a trial for Burnley, got a hat-trick against Bury, and they said I weren't good enough as well. But they were right. So, yeah.
But yeah, and then I went and trial at Sheffield United, and again, trained fairly well. And they said, there was another lad who came from United with me on trial there, and he was a winger. I was obviously centre mid, and a couple of things, he said, we're going to go with him instead because he's got more to work with. He's a winger and he's got a bit more like athleticism about him, and we'd love to sign him, but we've got a lad who's come through the youth team, plays for Italy, like under 16s or something. He was Diego Di Girolamo, plays for Bucks.
Oh yeah.
So he was there coming through, and they were like, look, we'd love to have you, but your game time will be limited because we want to push him through the first team. Like, he's highly thought of here and stuff. And
he was decent, like, but
yeah,
he's at Buxton.
He's at Buxton.
Yeah, but at that time, obviously, he was really, really good. And they were like, but we're going to call Preston, and we feel like you're too good not to go there. Like, you should be playing. Like, we'll tell them to take you on trial and pretty much sign you. So I was like, all right, okay. So
yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, they helped me out more than what United did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we ended up going to Preston.
Is there ever a point in this stage where you think,
after this Preston bit is a point when I trained again, thought I trained well. I thought in the car where I was thinking, if I don't get this, like, I might give up there. Like, it's hard. You know what I mean? I've gone from United to like when you play against Preston, like Burnley, and you beat them and you think,
battering them.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And like you're going on trial there a year later or 6 months later, and they're like, oh no, like, yeah, not good enough, not good enough. I'm like, I've come from United and I can't even get in here. Like, I feel a bit embarrassed. Like, I'm really not that good. That's what you said. So I remember in the car and I was like, obviously welling up to my dad, like, if I don't get in here, like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm obviously not good. And it was hard. And they brought me in. Like, yeah, like, we'll sign you, give you a scholarship. And I was like,
thank God for that.
Fucking hell. You know what I mean?
It could have gone so much different as well.
Yeah, so much different. And
then you think, it's Preston, I'm just going to try a couple more places.
Do you know what? One lad did this at Sheffield United. The guy who went to, who got offered at Sheffield United, not instead of me, but like both of us went from United, and I think he got offered a team abroad, and he turned the Sheffield United one down to go to a team abroad. I think he, Academica, I think it was, or something, which went there, and he said no, and now he's not. I think he's playing non-league actually now. But yeah, he turned that down. I'm thinking, how's he turning that down? Like,
why?
You've got to go there.
I'll snap your hand off for that one. Do you know what I mean? Like, but obviously that was his
Did you not ring him and say he's gone now?
I know. Yeah, you sure you don't want? I can improve my speed if you want. Like, that's what it is. But yeah, it was horrible, to be fair. And then obviously, like, I'm so thankful that they signed me and give me a scholar. And yeah, it was I remember my first year there, I was obviously first year and second year's play. I didn't probably play like loads, but I was like doing really, really well. I think who was in charge now? It was Wesley was in charge of the first team at that point, and I think he moved the youth team away from the first team.
Right.
So like for us in the youth team, we're like, oh, we've got no chance here. Like he
He'd
only
have
like
loved you as a
he only
player,
like
like,
senior
now,
boys.
wouldn't he?
Yeah, now, yeah. But I think at that time he's just like senior boys, like work hard and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't as if he's going to give anybody a chance. He's a young lad, really. I think Ben Davis, he gave a chance, but I think he played like one game or whatever, but he had him around. And then I remember we went into second year. What was it, first year? No, I think it was first year. Towards the end of the season, he got sacked. So like everybody was celebrating. We were in college, and the news came through. And everyone was like, "I've been sacked." So everyone was buzzing because like it's more opportunity for us. Like whoever they bring in, and they brought in Simon Grayson, and I'll never forget this. He gave us a meeting, and he was like, "Look, if you're good enough, you're old enough, I'll give like a 15-year-old his debut or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, I've got a chance here." Like, you know what I mean? If I'm doing well, like he's saying he's going to give a chance, so it give me like more motivation. Give a few lads the scholarship from the second year. My second year came around, and I hit the ground running. To be fair, it was, I think I was captain in the second year. We played 10 games or 11 games. I think we scored 11 goals, and I scored 10 of them. So like I thought, surely got.
Were you still playing up front at this stage, or are you back in
the 10 more or less?
Right,
yeah, midfield 3 to be fair. Yeah, and I ended up scoring 10 of them. And we only scored 11 goals, and I thought, surely now I've got a bit of a chance, and playing a couple of reserve games as well. And then, Simon Grayson, it was the JPT game. Played against Oldham, and he said I was ready me to go and train with the first team, and I think I didn't start, and then ended up coming on doing quite well. I think we got beat 2-0, but I came on at 2-0, did quite well. Same again at the weekend against Walsall, 2-0 down, came on, did well.
In the league?
Yeah, in the league, yeah. And then the third game, the third game we played Gillingham away, and that's where I got my first start and scored. And he's pretty much.
And how old are you now? 18.
I was
17.
17, and then I was 17 then. Was it October? Yeah, I think it was like around the October time, and then I turned 18 in the December.
Brilliant.
And then pretty much played majority of that season, to be honest. Yeah,
that's the start then, isn't it?
From it was
nearly giving up to.
But it's mad. It was like when I was, like you say, you're getting told you're nowhere near good enough for these teams, and then at 17, so this is like 16, and then 17, I'm playing first team football in League One. I was like, how's there been a big,
crazy
big shift?
So like a year on, you're 17, playing in League One men's football. Them lads who would have been kept on at Man United will still be playing under 18s.
Yeah, I remember bumping into a couple. Yeah,
more than progressed past them. It's weird how things can change.
Yeah, I bumped into a couple, and they were saying obviously like buzzing, like playing first team, and that's all they were saying. Like, oh, kind of wish like that was me playing first team, because everyone's played first team football, but you don't. Like, if I would have stayed on at United, I would never have had the career I've got now. Like, no chance. And like for them, if they would have got released, would they have had better careers? Maybe, who knows? But yeah, they were all saying to me like, kind of wish that was them sort of thing, because it was difficult to come through at United. You know what I mean? It's one really, as James Wilson kind of did.
I think that's understanding there that it's not the be all and end all to get that scholarship, and if it is a no, then there are loads of other channels that players can go down. And ultimately, like I say, end up having a better career.
I think the setbacks so early on in my career to come back has helped me massively, because I feel like I play with so many good players, like technically like incredible, but especially at high level, they're not really used to any setbacks. I've had it plain sailing all the way through, and later on in their career, when they get a setback, they probably don't really know how to deal with it, because they've been the golden boy and been like, where I was always not back, like especially from being like 14, it's setback after setback after setback, and that's how you bounce back. And I feel like I learned from that massively how to handle the situation. It's not really the be all and end all. Like, football can change massively. Like in the space of 2-3 days when you're playing football, you know what I mean? You get beat on a Saturday, you ate it, 2 days later, you're the hero and you love football again.
Yeah. We say it all the time, don't we? It's the biggest roller coaster, innit?
And that's the thing.
Yeah, well, them lads that saying they wish it was you, you've been crying for a year.
Yeah.
And then next thing they want
to be. That's what I mean. Like saying getting turned down, no from these places, no, like, it's mad. Like now I'm playing for Burnley, captain of Burnley. they bought me for a decent amount of money when, you look back, you say, oh, you could have had me for free, but they said like, oh, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And then even, I think, playing at Preston at 17, 18, I think they tried to get me back. I think United were interested in getting me back. There's a few other teams that wanted me, but for me, I was like, no.
That must have felt good for you though as well.
Yeah, obviously it felt good, but I was like, no, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to, you had this chance and you said no. And also I'm going to play 21s football. Like, I'm playing first team football.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to play football, and that happened in my career when I was younger quite a bit, to be fair. Like, you got the teams that are interested in you, but like, you're only going to go make the step up and play in the 21s, and it's like, men's football, nothing beats it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might have the label of playing for a big team under 21s, but like, under 21s, like, you want to play first team football.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
No matter what level it is. And I would say
to CV, does it?
Young lads now, like, if they've got an option to go to anywhere, whether it's non-league or not, I'm like, take it. Like, there's nothing better than a manager sees you play first team football anywhere. They know you can handle not only the game, the dressing room as well, which can eat up a lot of people.
Yeah.
Probably more so in non-league. Like, it's probably brutal. And I feel like at Preston, as you go up, probably the seriousness goes up. Do you know what I mean? So like, as I in Preston, it's probably more similar to non-league with like the banter and, being a young lad coming through, it was a nightmare. Like,
you'd have been sound with that though, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And then like in the 3 years you were there, you lost in the league playoffs.
Yeah.
And then was it the year after you went up?
Yeah, it was the year after, yeah. The first one was, we lost to Rotherham, I think, in the playoffs, and I think I was left out of the squad the first time, the first game, the home one, and I was in the squad the second one. I think we got beat and ended up coming on for not long, and then we got beaten at a pitch invasion, and I remember so many people coming on, and I was so young, like everyone else is like trying to walk off, I'm like just gutted, and all these fans are coming on like whacking me around the head with a scarf and like, getting in my face, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I wasn't used to it at all. But yeah, that was horrible. And then you go back to that season and the next season, and I played more or less, I think, up to like the Christmas period. I think it was like, more or less up to then. And then we got beat to like, I think Yeovil at home, or we drew with Yeovil. I think we drew with maybe Leyton Orient at home, where I think we're in the top two at the time. We dropped out, and then he bought players in January. And then I didn't get a look in really till the end of the season, which was hard. I was always like doing well, playing reserve games, scoring a lot of goals, and they'd be like, oh, it's all right, you better suited to the Championship, like you'll get your chance again, like Championship's like your league, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sound like, whatever, like, if we get promoted, like, I'm happy. Get promoted. I was left out the squad on that day, which was hard.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I should have been involved. And
Jesus.
I thought I should
Bit
have been.
sweet, half celebrating, half.
Yeah, a bit like, obviously, buzzing, obviously, you go up to the Championship, but obviously, I thought like I should have been involved a lot more. But I was like, I'd like better see the Championship. I was like, all right, okay, yeah, sound. Pre-season comes along. And I was always more or less top goal scorer in pre-season, even being like a young kid. So I thought, same again that season, going to the Championship, I might get a chance here. Played the last game of pre-season, you sort of know the team then.
Yeah.
Came on for like a minute. I think we played someone in Scotland, came on for like a minute, and then I was just like not involved at all. Like up until like the January. I mean, even watching it, like, and say, going back to before, when you see the first game, we played Middlesbrough at home, and I was just like, wow, this like is the intensity is crazy from League One to the Championship. I was like, even if I did get a chance, it's going to be fucking difficult. Did you feel like yourself that you weren't ready? Yeah, not that I weren't. It was just scary. Yeah, like, it was like very intimidating. Like, I think Middlesbrough, I think they might have got relegated from the Premier League as well. So like, you're watching them in the Prem, and he's got some big name players playing, and we've just got promoted from League One, and it's like the atmosphere was like buzzing, and I was obviously you want to play, but it's a bit like, even if I did, like, I don't really want to look out of place. You know what I mean? Like, it was very intimidating. But then obviously you get used to it. I come on a couple of times up until the January, and then obviously I was like, right, I need to go out on loan now. I've done back end of 6 months to the end of the season not playing. First like 4 or 5 months there not playing. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I need to play football. So I kept going in like, I want to go out on loan. And he was like, oh no, not yet. And I was running out of contract at the end of the year. And I was like, I want to go out on loan. And they were basically saying like, look, you need to sign a contract and then you can go out on loan.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to sign a contract. I'm not happy. Like, I want to play football. Like, if I go out and play football, like, I'll sign a contract pretty much because then I'll be happy. But it's funny because I went to, like, it's funny how yeah, that's what he got to. But it's like mad how football is, because I got a phone call one morning. My agent rings me. It's like, you're going on loan? I was like, oh, buzzing. Like, where am I going? He's like, Oldham. So I was like, sound. Like, it's not that far. Like, buzzing. David Dunn was the manager there. Yeah. Driving down there, went to the stadium, doing the paperwork, picking a number, like all of that. And then I get like, oh, wait, don't sign that bit. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, no worries. So like, I'll just go and wait in the waiting room. So I got waiting in there for a while. And then he comes, he's like, I'll come back in. And they're like, oh, you're going to have to go back to Preston. Like, something's happened. So I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, let's go.
What number did you pick?
I don't know, some big number. I can't remember. But I was just buzzing, like, so happy I'm going to go out on loan. Anyway, so I'm ringing my agent, speaking to David Dunn. Like, I don't know what's going off here. Like, I'm sure it'll get done tomorrow. Like, just go back and train. So I go back to train. Obviously, lads are already out on the training pitch. I'm running inside, getting changed, running onto the pitch. And Grayson was like, in front of everyone, where the fucking hell have you been? So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, in front of everyone, like, he's like, where the fucking hell have you been? I was like, Oldham. I was going on loan. He's like, I didn't fucking tell you can go out on loan. I was like, well, the chairman said that I can go out on loan or something like that. Like, I'm just getting told, like, he's telling me what's going on. Like, you haven't got me. Everyone's like laughing and that. Anyway, so ended up like staying for a little bit. And then I went on loan to Barnsley instead. Like, I might have been like a week later or so.
So what was the reason? Just because Grayson okayed it?
Yeah, because I didn't sign a contract, I don't think.
Right.
So I was like, no, you're not going until that happens. So a bit of back and forth. And I was like, look, just get me out playing football. And I went to Barnsley instead, who were in, I think they were 1 point out of relegation when I went there. But I remember looking, it was Lee Johnson who was the manager, and the players that they had were, I was like, how are they near the bottom? Like, they've got some good players here. Like, ended up going there again. I was like, oh, I'm going to sign a contract. And I was like, not now, I'm out playing football. Like, I'm happy. I think we won 9 in a row straight away. Drew one
straight inside playing.
Yeah, straight, yeah. Like, I haven't played for ages. I remember first training session is like, Lee Johnson, like, blah, 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 are you fit to play? Like, how's your fitness and stuff? And I was like, yeah, I'm fit. Like, yeah, I've played ready to play. Like,
you can't say no there either, can you?
Yeah, no,
well,
yeah.
I'll give it a couple of weeks to settle in, and I'm obviously
not sure about that, actually. Like, I was like, yeah, buzzing. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to start you. So I was like, oh, sound. And bearing in mind as well, it was, I think when I was in League One with Preston, I think we changed formation to a 2 midfield. I remember Grace saying, I don't think you can play in a 2 midfield. Like, I feel like you're not strong enough and what have you. So I went there and they were playing 4-4-2. So I was playing 2 midfield in League One. So I was just smashing gym, like, because they tell me I'm not big enough and stuff. So in my head, I was like, I just have to get like really strong, especially in playing 2 midfield.
You packed it in now?
Well, yeah, obviously. Honestly, like, I was doing like 2 sessions a day. Like, I was like eating so much. I was like, right, I need to get really, really strong. And I probably got, obviously I'm not very big, but for me, I was a bit slow. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was very noticeable. So ended up winning 9 in a row. We ended up sneaking in the last spot of playoffs. So we got the 6th spot. We won the JPT. And yeah, so we got in there, and then we ended up winning the playoffs with Barnsley. Like, it was massive. I've gone in there, they were almost getting relegated like a week before they were in the relegation zone. We go in there and we just like battered everybody. Like, it was, the football we were playing like was just like so enjoyable, and everything just clicked. And it was a great time. So in my head, I'm like, because Lee Johnson, just before the JPT final, went to Bristol City. Bristol City bought him.
Right.
So then we had Paul Leckenbottom, who was, I think he might have been a 23s manager at the time. He stepped up. So Lee Johnson went to there, and obviously Lee Johnson was like, you know, I'll take you at Bristol City. Like, obviously with the contract situation and stuff, like, yeah, I'll take you at Bristol City and play you, etc.
I suppose there you've got 2 options as well. Barnsley have just gone to the Championship, and then obviously Bristol, where Lee's gone.
Yeah. So like,
Preston, anywhere?
Yeah, I still could have signed at Preston, yeah, but I think I was obviously a bit fuming with Preston, so they were just in the back of my mind at the time. So yeah, he went, and then we ended up doing really well and winning the playoffs and winning the JPT. So it was 4 months, like, couldn't imagine what was going to happen from nearly getting relegated, Barnsley technically. And then they had like a few good offers, to be honest, like in that summer. Obviously, I was out of contract on a free, done well, scored a few goals. And
just imagine though, like, it's like that sliding doors. Like, imagine if you would have gone to Oldham.
Yeah, this is like how mad like football can be in decisions that like I don't
change the shape of your
I don't know.
career.
Oldham might have got relegated that year. I'm not sure. I might not have done well, and so like just that decision of Grayson actually saying no, you can't fucking go, to then finally letting me go.
So then going to Barnsley, and then you end up winning the league.
Going up through the playoffs and winning the JPT and like I say, I had some decent offers going into the summer, but I knew I was going to play football at Bristol City and get more of a chance again. I had a chance to go to like 21s football again, pretty much. I was 21 at the time, so like some decent big clubs in the Prem were saying like to come here, and I was just like, no, I want to play football. Like, I'm at my happiest like when I'm playing football, and that's always been like in my career. It's like I just want to play football. I don't care whether I don't want to make the step up, like going to Burnley. I knew in the back of my head it was a small squad. I was going to get my chance, where I could have gone to a couple of other teams and not played and been like a squad player, maybe gone out on loan. Like, I don't know what was going to happen, where I knew at Burnley I was going to get a chance, and then it's up to me to play with a small squad.
Yeah, belter.
And you had a really, well, in terms of games and stuff like that, really successful spell at Bristol. You was there like 160, 170 games altogether.
Yeah, I played a lot of football there. Again, that was part of the decision to go there, was just to play a lot of games. I know he was going to trust me and stuff, and obviously you got to earn that as well. But yeah, I like Bristol City had an incredible time. Absolutely loved it. I didn't really want to leave, but they lost like Joe Bryan went to where did he go to now? I think Fulham or Cardiff. I think it was Fulham. Yeah, Fulham it was. Bobby Reid, they sold him to Cardiff in the Prem. Adam Webster went to Brighton. Who else? Sold Marlon Pack to Cardiff. So they were selling all these people just before like the season I left, and I think we might have been in the January just outside of the playoffs. Obviously I wanted to get promoted with Bristol City, but when the Prem comes calling, you can't really turn it down. You can't be like, oh, wait just and see. You know, you might not get that option again. So it came to the January, and I was a bit like, you know, Lee Johnson was saying, I don't really want to let you go, but we had like good conversations of like our aims in football, and I always wanted to play in the Prem, and he wanted to manage in the Prem, and you know, he was a young manager at the time, like doing really well, and he had visions of going to the Prem. I did, and it was always like, you know, sort of if the Prem comes calling, it was a bit like, I don't want to let you go, but we've had this sort of like friendship that I can see you want to go sort of thing, and if the money's right and they'll pay it for you, like, we'll let you go. And like I said, I didn't really want to leave because I want to get promoted with Bristol City, but you can't not go to the Prem. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. So like Bristol City had an incredible time, and
he was class there. I remember Paisley had come in after a game. He wouldn't be asked about how we did. He'd just check his phone and be like, if Vaughan and Brownhill scored, we might be out tonight. That's all he'd say.
The weekend would just rely on that. It's just me.
He couldn't get a game though because I was up. So.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But he said the lads were great, so he loved it all the time, yeah. Obviously, you were close with Paisley, weren't you, at Ollie, but you were playing because you were far better than what you ever was. But yeah, no, he always says like that Ollie, especially like lads and that were fucking class.
Unreal.
You don't need a fine system or something where like if you mention my name or
if he did,
somewhere, that he'd get fined.
If he mentioned Brownhill, it's a fiver. I think we got about 50 quid off him one day. Loves him. But no, Burnley, come calling.
Like I say, like Premier League, you can't turn it down, can you? And obviously, like you talked about the step up to the Championship, and we touched on it before. Because you played so many games then in the Championship, you obviously felt a lot more prepared to step into a Premier League side then, because it was January, weren't it? You went in.
Yeah, with Bristol City, obviously we played against Prem teams in the Cup, got to semi-final of the Carabao Cup where we played the running was Stoke was in the Prem, beat them. Palace were in the Prem, we beat them. United were in the Prem, we beat them. And then we got City in the semi-final, like home and away. Obviously played against them. Away at their place was, I think we went 1-0 up at half time, just before half time.
Can you remember the team?
Well, the City team?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Who was you against?
Who was I against? I can't really remember. I think we remember it was Mangala at the back. And
Sterling, you said.
Yeah, Sterling played. I can't really remember. It's mad because I'm a City fan. It was the first time playing there. You think I'd remember it all? But I remember little bits from it. But I remember we worked a bit on like Mangala was a bit rash on the ball. So like if there's ever a bit like press him sort of thing. And I think John Stones played the ball across or someone did. And I thought he was going to Mangala. So I pressed him, won the ball off him, did a bit, played it through to Bobby Reid, and they took him out and we got a penalty. And Bobby scored the pen and go 1-0 up at half time. We're all sat in there like, what is going on here? That was the year they won. They got 100 points, so like it's one of the best years.
That must have been like Yaya and that.
Yeah, I don't think he played. De Bruyne
Silva.
De Bruyne would have played. Yeah, David Silva. I don't think he started.
I love how we can't remember
the second game.
You probably don't when you're against them, do you?
No, because obviously you're a fan of it, but when you're playing, it's just football. It's football.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? You not forget about your surroundings, but you're just in the zone. Do you know what I mean? And they end up. I think Raheem Sterling scored and we were 1-1. And I remember sub came on, they brought Aguero on. And then they ran past me and I was like, Aguero, that like fucking mad like. And I think he scored in like the 92nd minute to win 2-1. So we got beat there. But like we played like really good football. I think everyone was like raving off us how well we played because we actually took the game to City.
Yeah.
For the first time. I don't think a lot of teams did that. Played them at our place. I think they beat us 4-2 in the end, but they scored like 2 goals in added time. So like we got fairly close, to be fair.
Did you feel then personally that you can make that step up? Then you felt like you were ready.
Yeah, because especially playing like Stoke and Palace, and obviously I think you've played a few more in and around there, like maybe the year before, and you feel like, hey, obviously it's difficult, but like I can compete and I can play.
Yeah. So
I think I'd be ready and yeah, obviously the January comes around. I think I could have moved in the summer before that, but it wasn't the right team. And then got to January and obviously I heard about them coming in. I think they were safe, more or less. I think they came off the back of beating United away. They drew with Arsenal. I think they beat Leicester. Like they came off the back of a few good results where like the gap then to getting relegated was huge. So like they were never going to get relegated.
So you weren't joining a Prem team where you're in a relegation.
No, because I didn't want to make the move, get relegated. Yeah. Bristol City get promoted. I'm like, what have I done here? Like I should have just waited out. So like it was still like calculated move in a way. And again, it was I wanted to play. I didn't want to go to the Prem and not play. I want to play. And that was when I was looking at options and stuff. That was the one where I could see myself getting the chance. It's a smaller squad and stuff. And yeah, I went there and like it was standard. Like you think like Burnley, you think like, I know they're not technically that good, but these players like were technically like incredible. Like in training, I'm going in, I'm like, wow, like these like rondos and small sided games and possession. You're like, these players are like top,
unbelievable.
Do you know what I mean? Like so good. But what like you probably hear of Burnley at that time of like this direct team that are just big and strong. Like
they're still unreal.
Yeah, like they're still technically very, very good. And like the balls who are playing, like people just think, oh, you just diag it long. It's not. It's still worked on. It's like going to the full-back cutback. The ball has to be perfect in behind. You got 2 strikers who know where the ball's going. It was always a nightmare. Do you know what I mean? It was still a plan behind it.
What was outside?
He's a funny character. He's just a wind-up merchant. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd hate to play against him, to be fair, because he'd be pinching you or like talking to you and trying to put you off your game. But yeah, he's a great lad. To be fair, like they all made me feel very, very welcome. Like it was a very senior squad though. Like it was very like experienced. A lot of lads were like 29, 30, 31 and above. And I would
have had Jay there when Jay was still there, then, weren't he? Was Ashley Barnes there?
Yeah, Barnes there. You had Ben Mee, Tarkowski, obviously Louts, Charlie Taylor, Eric Peters, Nick Pope, Joe Hart, Aaron Lennon.
It was a senior
Jeff
squad, wasn't it?
Hendricks, Phil Bardsley, Dwight McNeil. Dwight was the young one. He was playing I think he was like 20 maybe. But I came in at 24. Connor Roberts joined as well, I think the year after, who's still with me now. But I was like 24 and everyone else was like, it's like 28, 29, 30, 31. Like, it's a very old squad. So like I've gone from a mixed squad at Bristol City, young and old, and like you can, like I say, that immaturity is still there. You go there and like these are all like adults, like, you know what I mean? Like big lads, families, like serious, you know what I mean? So I kind of changed my ways a lot, like through going there and learning from these players like Ben Mee and Tarkowski, Jack Court, Ashley Westwood. Like these are like, well, Jack Court's played for England, J Rod's played for England, Tarky played for England. Like these like incredible people, do you know what I mean? So like you have to like get up to the standard real quick, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't be immature.
Really? Like, did you know that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I toned it down like so much. Yeah.
The time and a place, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and Dyche probably won't really add it as well. Won't really have it, but yeah, I remember going into my first meeting with Dyche. He brought me into like his office, and he was like, "Yeah, like, you know, welcome, blah blah blah." Talking, he's like, a few rules of like shin pads and socks for training. No cans, like when you're getting off the bus with your headphones. It's like when you're getting off the bus, like there's no headphones on. No social media, no Twitter, like no posting.
What, none at all?
None of that.
You're not on it?
At all, yeah. No hats.
None of that shit.
Yeah, no hats and
Now then,
snooze for
Josh.
training. Yeah, it was...
No social.
So I've gone there thinking, going to the Premier League, like the coverage of the Premier League, like, you know, boost your own profile, all of this, like...
I'll get my Instagram followers up.
Be proud to like post pictures of like playing against teams and none of that, yeah. You know what I mean? Take you away from the media for a while, like, so really like humbled you real quick. You know what I mean? Like you're in here to work and that's it. And you know, you
suppose that
like,
probably helped you.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, it did. Obviously, it's like forgetting that flashy stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when you're in here to work, and you know what I mean. And it was, I remember like even like playing a few games and you post on Instagram or like Twitter, and then on a Friday you'd have the spins and it'd be up on spins and you get fined for posting, and he'd be like, stop fucking posting, like stop using social media, because he just thought it was a distraction or you'd say something wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't
Nothing
use
good
it.
can really come of it, can it?
No, so he took all that away, to be fair, and like so you've gone thinking like you're this, and then you get humbled really quick. You know,
I wondered, I went on Louts' Instagram and he's played in the Prem for years. He's got like 128 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I think it's a new.
How does that even
I remember
work?
when I was going, I was checking all their Instagrams, like, you know, just to see who I'm going to be playing with, and none of them posted like anything. It was all like old photos. And I was thinking, can't just because they're old, these lot, they're not posting, like, and it's just obviously.
He was thinking, I'll show about to use the Instagram. I'll come in and take
you not post. I'll use this, and it was
Use this
get on
filter.
this. Get on this.
Filter it.
yeah, and then obviously like just took that away and just focused on football.
Brilliant. Straight into the side.
No, it was. I waited. It was a. To be fair, how I got in was a bit lucky. To be fair, it was. So I came in January. Made my debut against Bournemouth. I think we were 1-0 up, 2-0 up, cruising, and I was like, I might get on here. 3-0 up. I'm like, surely I'll get on here. And it was like 2 minutes left, and he's like, yeah, you're coming on. So I was like, he really don't trust me. 3-0 up, and he's bringing me on for 2 minutes. Like, he's So obviously delighted to make that my debut then, but then. I didn't play for a while, and then COVID happened. So I've gone from obviously in the January and then the March, like COVID happened, so like everything got shut down. So I was devastated. Obviously, even going into the Prem, like all this, and football's on hold for a while, and going over through the summer, and a few lads are out of contract. I think Jeff Hendricks was out of contract in the summer, so like I think he left to go to Newcastle or something like that. So like, kind of, I when I first went, I went as a right winger, like. Not like a right winger, flary right winger, because I can't take anybody on, but like basically a double right back. But I've played on right midfield because that's where Jeff was playing. So then when it restarted after however long, first game was where I started was City away. So I was thinking, buzzing. Obviously, there's no fans though, so it's a bit weird. But I'm just like, I'm playing City away, like Prem game, like buzzing, can't wait. You know. Started off fairly well, 5-10 minutes. Next, you know, you're 3-0 down. I think we got beat like 5-0. Like, but you think, we actually played all right, but 5-0.
You lost 5-0.
Yeah, the quality was just like insane. And then I think I played quite a lot, majority of that season, to be fair. And then I think Jack Cork did his ankle, I think towards the end, so then I moved into midfield, and we kind of rotated a bit, and then I got dropped out the team towards the end of the season. We got relegated. Dyche left, and the two coaches that were in, like Jacko took over, and Jenksy, and they dropped me out. But then Westy did his ankle, like dislocated his ankle, and then I came back in from there. So I played a decent amount of times, to be fair. But I think playing with no fans weirdly kind of helped me get used to Prem games and getting that nerves out, because if you're going into a game and they say you're playing away City away or any of these games away,
intimidating.
Do you know what I mean? If you've not played the Prem anyway, so it kind of built me in slowly.
Yeah.
But when that first game of fans happened, I was like, okay, now I feel like
where was
a
that?
footballer. I think we played was it home or away? I think we played at home, but the one I remember was we played away, and it was Liverpool obviously won the league that year. So it was their first home game since winning the league. So I played at Anfield, and obviously the atmosphere was just incredible. I remember walking out and thinking
wow,
this is the real deal. This is the shit. Do you know what I mean? It's very intimidating. But I think we get beat. Yeah, I think we got beat 2-0. But in the COVID, we actually beat them 1-0 at their place. Barnsley scored a pen, and it was the first game they got beat at home for I don't know, a good few years, 4 years, I think it was. And
Flipping heck.
yeah, mighty Burnley won 1-0. And
they do that, Burnley, don't they?
Yeah, got some mad results. Yeah,
I think they did it with United as well.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah, beat United away 2-1.
Yeah.
J-Rod scored an unbelievable goal. But yeah, it was when you go back to playing with fans, it's surreal. You feel wow, this is the Premier League, and you realise that when you're in the Premier League, you realise that how big it is. It's absolutely massive. From the media coverage to, like I said, the fans. People talk about it. You think the Championship's quite big, but when you go to the Premier, it's nothing else matters other than the Premier League.
That's why Paisley lost his Saturday nights as well, because Josh was stopping up watching Match of the Day to see himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't watch Match of the Day.
Did you not?
No, I've gone from watching Match of the Day all the time. I think I might have watched one or two, but say we got beat
you don't want to watch
it. You don't want to watch it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, and we didn't really get much coverage on it anyway. I think
last game.
I think we had a few chances, and it was never really honest. I was I can't watch it. You know what I mean? So I actually stopped watching it, to be honest, which was quite sad. But I used to love watching Match of the Day. Yeah. Obviously, that first one where you're on is good, but I don't think I got shown in any of it. So I was a bit
have you ever been into the town centre in Burnley?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
Will you get mobbed if you go there? Because I walk around
only for change,
and there's 50-year-old blokes in walking around in jeans and a Burnley goalkeeper top.
Yeah.
It's the only town you'll ever see.
The mad fit, the fans absolutely
big flare jeans.
Yeah,
absolutely love it. I've been in a few times, but yeah, it can be quite carnage.
The Burnley fans are class
for sure. Yeah, but it's just they're just. You know what I mean? Everything is just the football club from the community. And I realised that through going there, and when I tried to do bits with the community, and through COVID, I did a bit with a few local businesses and tried to help them and stuff. And you realise how much Burnley football clubs mean to the town. It's huge for a small town. It's the population of Burnley is not big at all, but compared to how much actually go to the game.
Yeah, someone said. I can't remember what the stat were, but they were one of the best ones, as in the size of the crowd compared to the population of the town. It's the most percentage. Yeah. It's up there.
It's got to be up there for shirt sales. I've never seen so many Burnley tops on
you drive
all hand-me-downs as well. Fast down.
You drive down, you see loads of people. That's how they say how much it means to them. But the way we drive in is not really through the main bit. But yeah, it's every now and again you would go into it and it's just full of Burnley tops, old track suits. I don't know, they've got them they're all walking around in old Burnley match day track suits.
Yeah. Man lives in a mansion. He just sells them all off.
He does, yeah.
It's mint. I love it.
So before we end it, who's the one standout player you've come up against in the Prem?
It's two. De Bruyne and Rodri when he came, like, they're just like, I remember Rodri, like, can't get near him. Like, I remember we played him away, and it was not really my job to man mark him. But I was playing behind a striker. I think we actually moved to a free midfield, and I couldn't get near him. And I remember like looking over to the side or half time, and the assistant was like, "Fucking make contact with him." I'm like, I can't get near him. Like it's impossible. Like, I don't know what. I'd stand over near him, and like the ball just go over there, so you move a little bit, but then he'd just get the ball. And when he get the ball, he's just like, you don't give enough time to even get anywhere near him. And he's quick. He probably don't look quick, but he's quick. He's strong. Like him and De Bruyne. I might be a bit biased because I'm a City fan, but like they were like incredible. But then you've got like Pogba, who's just like can't get, like, he just puts your hand there and you can't tackle him. And then you've got Kante, and I remember we played Chelsea away, and you think you've got time, and before you know it, you look, he's just like around you and getting the ball off you, and you can't get near him. Like, it's insane. Like, but yeah, I would say De Bruyne and Rodri are like,
it's not a bad pairing, is it?
No, it's not bad.
Not a bad pairing.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So what? I suppose you've touched on it a lot, but what's the biggest bit of advice you'd give to young footballers coming through now?
The advice I would give is something that annoys me a little bit with players who've got so much ability. It's like, just work hard. Like, you shouldn't be embarrassed to work hard. Like, you know what I mean? When you're growing up a little bit, and people, you think like, oh, you're working hard, like, you know, really laid back, like, oh, it's not cool to work hard. Like, it is, do you know what I mean? Like, just work hard. It's free. You can do it. It doesn't cost anything. Just work hard. Like, because you see all these people with so much ability. Like, you've probably played like against people who probably in academies that have got so much ability who just don't really want to work hard. And I just feel like it's the most easiest thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
We've said it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah.
You get called busy.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
Just get called busy.
No, but like young kids now, they think it's cool to do skills and walk around and not sweat and like put a tackle. I didn't need to tackle today because I'm that good. You know that.
Yeah, everyone else will do it for me. The game's changed as well now, especially like how many players you see now where like they don't work hard really, unless you are literally top,
the best.
But I guarantee that them two players that you named were probably the two hardest workers in that City
after
team.
A game, you check him like Man City are the perfect sort of example of this. Of like, you think, oh, they're all good on the ball technically, blah, but they probably don't run far. Like, we're chasing them, so we're probably running further, but we ain't. They're running even harder, more high speed, more distance. Like,
their stats individually, when you look back, are incredible, and you don't realise. You think like Kevin De Bruyne, like he gets it, he pings it, he sits in pockets. But then you look at his stats, you're like, he's running like
Bernardo Silva. He's
running like 15K.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the game has changed like so much that you can't get away. Like, I think managers look at stats massively, like how fit you are and can you handle high speed running, how many sprints you do in a game, the distance that you cover. And if you're good and you're not getting them, they probably won't sign you unless you're literally like a 1 in a million special talent where you can sort of get away with it. And you do obviously need them sort of players, but you always see like, you got so much ability, why don't you play enough for? He's not got that many games. There's a reason why. Like, manager prefers somebody who's going to work hard than somebody who's not, no matter what the ability is. And I would say I've made my career on working hard. I've never been like the best technically or like, you know, the best in whatever, but I always made sure that like from training to everything is just work hard. Do you know what I mean? I think like it's free and easy to do, so why shouldn't you do it? You know what I mean?
Mate,
got to ride the setbacks as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Perfect way to finish it, because it's the only thing that you can control is your own work rate.
Some days you have an off day of playing football. Do you know what I mean? Like, technically sometimes you give a pass away, you give this away, and if you ain't got where you work hard, you ain't got anything. Do you know what I mean? At least if you give the ball away, at least you can work hard and get it back. Do you know what I mean?
It's a terrible game if you don't work hard, but if you work hard, you've done all right.
Yeah. Exactly. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
Class.
Mate, really enjoyed it. Worth coming in on Sunday.
Do we have to wait till you win league to put this out or what?
Probably. I'll put it out whenever.
Oh, mate, like, fingers crossed, because obviously I'm from Burnley, so yeah.
What a guy, what a player.
Thanks for having me on.
What's that, Reece? Time and a half?
Sunday,
pal.
innit?
Hopefully you don't
Yeah.
pie me off at paddle next time.
No, yeah, you've built some courts, haven't you, or something?
No, we are building some. But the other day, what was it? You asked me to go and play and then you sacked me off.
Yeah, nah, that was...
Shit, that, innit?
That wasn't my
Pearsy
fault,
messaging me, they've got a spare spot. They were like, you want to play? And I was like, yeah, John, I've got a bit of time. Yeah, I'll play. Tried to join the game, kicked me out of the game. I was going to try to join and kick me out. I was like, do you want to play? And I was like, I found somebody else.
That's not when you took Corey.
No. I'd have Brownhill over Corey.
Thank God.
No, he'd already sorted a player,
Yeah.
but on the app it was spare, so I tried getting Brownie. But then
You'd already sorted
the
it.
lad who partner didn't come, he found out it was going to be Brownhill and he was trying to bomb his mate off. But in the end he went, I just can't do it. So sorry about that, pal.
Next time.
We'll get on it. Well, last time we played, we beat him and Pearsy 6-0, 6-0.
But wait. It was our first ever game of paddle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
but
It was our
still.
first ever game. But now,
Are you decent now?
yeah, like Pearsy's decent, but I'm a lot better. I played like not long ago, and one of my mates got injured, and I had to go off. So it was like, oh fuck, it's 2v1, that ruins the game. I was like, no, I'll play you like 2v1. He'd be like, oh nah, like battered him. 2v1 battered him.
2v1.
But yeah. So next
some
time we
going
can
there.
Yeah, we'll
That
play.
shows how
play.
crap
We'll get a
they are.
game sorted.
and a game of golf.
Yeah.
We'll definitely we'll get you on the golf channel.
Yeah.